What's going on YouTube? Roxas the Torterra here, and today we are bringing you some Pokemon Showdown battles. Okay you guys, so I'm bringing you some post-commentary Showdown battles with the Mega Gallade team, as you guys have seen me been using lately. And I'm really just, I don't know, I'm really feeling this team right now. Like, it reminds me of my Mega Lopunny team, like how it took me a little while to get used to it. Oh my god, what is that? There's like this big snapping noise in my background right now. You guys, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it'll be interesting if you guys can hear it. But anyway, I think that's like the heater, or the pipes rather. It's like when there's heat flows through the pipes, you just hear it with the cracking sounds. I don't know. Anyway, so basically, I took on some battles a couple of days ago, with the Mega Gallade team, and you don't see Mega Gallades right here for some reason. But anyway, I enjoy these battles. They're pretty fun. I'm just getting used to the team, and as I said before, it's weird. Like, I'm really feeling the team a lot. It feels really good to use this team. I love this team. It's like one of my favorite teams now. I use this team a lot. When I wake up in the morning and do stuff, when I want to play games afterwards, like after I do whatever I have to do, this is like the first team I want to use in my Pokemon game. Like, if I ever battle anybody, usually it's gonna be this team. My Mega Lopunny team the same way. It's like that. It's like that too. Hopefully I can fix some of the teams up if I see a problem with them. But this team overall is really great. I just have to make sure I make the right switch-ins and make the right predictions. I'm pretty much set. I think that's how it is with every team, to be completely honest. But anyway, we're gonna get into this battle right now. As you know, my team consists of Blastodark the Mega Gallade, Platinum Drive the Metagross, Rotom Wash, Scrub It Up the Rotom Wash, Zapdos, because you can't nickname it in my game, but I'll figure out a way. If I would nickname Zapdos, I don't know. It'd probably be something with its name. Anyway, I'll probably make a name based on its name, basically, because Zapdos is electrical bird with number 2 in it. Anyway, we have Sylvie, my beautiful Sylveon. Sylvie the Sylveon, I love her so much. She puts in so much work. And we have our Ambipom, who I have not given a nickname yet too, but I have a nickname for her. But anyway, let's get right into the battle. When I saw his team, I was like, I really want to knock off that Gliscor, or somehow Will-O-Wisp it, or somehow Hidden Power Ice it. Will-O-Wisp was on my Rotom. I mean, it's really highly unlikely that he would switch into Rotom against, he would switch in his Gliscor against my Rotom. So yeah, let's get right into the battle. So my main concern is knocking this thing off, just because his Gliscor is bulk. So he goes right for the Protect. I thought I could catch him off guard, so I didn't go for the fake out. I just went straight for the knockoff, because some people automatically assume I'm gonna go for the fake out. So I went for the knockoff. Since I know you carry Protect, they'd be like, oh, we don't have to protect the fake out. I'm gonna be like, well, I'll knock you off. Anyway, he predicts that, goes for the Protect. Well, doesn't really predict, just goes for the safest play. I U-turn out, and I send in my Scrub It Up, and he goes for the Stealth Rocks. Now he comes in with Gliscor, and I go for the Volt Switch while he was in with Gliscor. Then he switches out and goes into his Bray the Breloom, and Blastodark comes through. I don't know why there's no picture of my Blastodark. There we go. And he switches out and goes to the Bronx Zone. I go for the close combat. It does almost over a half, so I was really impressed by Gallade's physical prowess there. And Zapdos comes in after this, expecting, I don't know, maybe a Gyro Ball. So he goes for the Poison, the Toxic, and I'm like, alright, well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna go for the default here. So I knew Gliscor was coming back in. Now this play is really what sealed the game for him though, because he didn't protect, and I have Hidden Power Ice. Plus I got a crit, so I one-shot his Gliscor, and I got toxic damage, and then he forfeited. And I was like, well, you gotta be safe. You should have protected and scouted. That's what you always do. You always scout sometimes. Sometimes you have to scout. Because that play right there cost him his Gliscor, and that was like his best physical wall on his team. And afterwards, I was just going to go to work on his team. But anyway, let's get right into the next one. So this team, okay, see, last game, my Mega Gallade was missing. Now he's missing his Mega Metagross. And this guy is also using a Bronzong. So I was just like, there's a lot of bells today. What's going on? A lot of Bronzongs everywhere. Anyway, the obviously to me was Lando here, so I decided to leave with my Zapdos so I can Hidden Power Ice it just in case. So we're gonna click play. Okie dokie. And he starts with Keldeo Resolute form instead. So I was like, interesting. So I was like, I could go for the T-Ball here, but I'm gonna go for the Hidden Power Ice just in case he switches into his Lando. he does not do so. He switches into Rotom Wash, and I was like, I don't understand. Because I can T-Bolt you and you'll take neutral damage. And Rotom doesn't like neutral damage. So I go for the T-Bolt, and he has lefties, so I'm like, that damage looks like he's most likely specially defensive. So I'm like, okay. Then he goes for the Will-O-Wisp, so I'm like, alright, I'm going to stay in. After seeing me go for the T-Bolt, I was thinking maybe he'll switch. But I'm going to go for another T-Bolt again, just in case. So he goes for Protect. I'm like, okay, this is definitely specially defensive, and it's kind of like a troll because it's protecting, and it makes me burn. But I have Roost on Zapdos, so I'm not really too concerned about leaving Zapdos in. Right here, I predict the switch, and I go for the Hidden Power Ice. He does not switch. So I'm like, okay, he Volt Switch, so I'm like, he's effectively going to try to stall me out with this type of Rotom. So I'm like, alright, after he Volt Switch out, I'm like, alright, I know what I'm going to do here. He goes into Latias. I definitely can't stay in against this. Plus, the burn damage is just, like, ridiculous. So I go into Platinum Drive on my Metagross. So if he goes for like a Draco Meteor, it's okay. He goes for the Draco Meteor, in fact, and he misses. So I'm like, okay. He switches out. And I was like, okay. So I go right here. I go for the Zen Headbutt for the neutral damage because I knew he was going to switch. He probably thought I was going to go for like a Bullet Punch for stab. So I just went straight for the Zen Headbutt and did a whopping over half Zen Headbutt to the Rotom Wash, and then I switch out, so that shows me it's definitely not physically defensive, it's specially defensive in every way. So I switch into Sylvie, expecting a Willow. He goes for the Protect, and he goes for another Protect because I switched in and he misses Protect. So I went for the Heal Bell, and that Heal Bell was to recover my Zapdos from the burn that Rotom had inflicted on me. I stay in, I do in fact stay in, just to see what he was going to switch into. And he switches into Metagross, so I'm like, okay, not a bad switch. And I go for the Hyper Voice, and it does a good amount to his Metagross, actually. This being the Mega, so we don't see its Mega form yet, but I switch out, and I go straight into my Rotom here. Scrub it up, scrub it up, scrub it up, scrub it up. So Mega Metagross is evolved, and I don't know why it's not showing its picture right now. Maybe something's going on with Showdown. I'm just glad my Mega Golly got to show itself off in the other battle. Anyway, he goes for the Zen Headbutt, predicting me to switch into my... Or not predicting me to switch into it. But anyway, he switches out, and I stay in and go for the Will-O-Wisp because he knows I'm going to go for it, so he switches out and goes into Bronzong. Bronzong is burned, and I do know he has Toxic. I believe he has Toxic. Is it Toxic on this one, or is it the other battle? I don't know. I Volt Switch fearing the Toxic, because I don't need my Rotom being Toxic. I don't really fear it, but I just don't want to have to go through the trouble of sending a Sylveon to get the Hail Bell off. So he actually goes for the Stealth Rock. So I'm like, okay. So I made a pretty good switch with Zapdos. So I go for the Roost. And he does, in fact, go for the Toxic. So I'm like, yes, he does have Toxic. I'm just like, whatever. He's going to get burn damage. I might as well stay in, because I have to defog anyway. He then switches into Rotom. I guess maybe he could predict that I have Heat Wave or something. But I just go for the defog. And I defog that out of here. Those Stealth Rocks are gone. So I'm free to switch. I switch out. Going to Sylveon. So if he goes for the Will-O-Wisp again, then Sylveon won't really mind it. And he actually goes for the Volt Switch. So I'm like, Volt Switch, huh? I'm just like, Volt Switch. Volt Switch isn't so bad, but then again, I'm just like, he made the right play, basically. I'm just ranting. Anyway, he goes into his Metagross, and I go for the Protect. Just to scout what he's going to do, if he's going to go for a Zen Headbutt or for a Steel type move this time. He, in fact, goes for a Meteor Mash, so I'm like, I'm pretty much safe to go into my Zapdos or my Rotom now, since he's not going for the Steel type, the Psychic type move. But it's pretty obvious that I'm going to switch after I Protect. But I'm like, maybe he won't think that, because Sylveon... Yeah, he does think that, so, because Sylveon is in there, so I'm like, I should have just switched out instantly into Zapdos. So anyway, he gets the Zen Headbutt off, and Zapdos takes some bad damage, but he actually takes more damage with Rocky Helmet, and I'm just like, I gotta sack off my Zapdos now. I love Zapdos in this team. He goes for another Zen Headbutt, and doesn't miss either. So I'm like, okay, I could've got a Roost off there. Anyway, I switch into Ambipom, trying to go for the Fake Out. I'm thinking I'm going for the fake out here, and I'm like, he could just switch into Lando. So I'm just like, alright, you know what? Here's the play I'm gonna make. I'm gonna go for the knockoff instead of the fake out. So I knock off Lander's choice scarf, so that helps me out a ton, so I can't get my Gallade outsped anymore. So I go for the U-turn, and I'm like, this is pretty good. We got the choice scarf off, so this changes the whole game. We have a huge chance at winning now. So I go and scrub it up the road, so I'm predicting the Earthquake. He goes for the superpower because it was an obvious play, I guess. I really don't know. Either way, he dealt damage to me. Right here, I actually wanted to go for the Will-O-Wisp, because the Hydro is not really effective here because most of the Pokemon he has resist that. So instead of going for Hydro or the Will-O-Wisp, I actually go for the Volt Switch instead, because Lando is definitely switching out. I just knew Lando was switching out, and I go into my Mega Gallade, which is perfect because I can set up with Gallade right here, get my Mega Evolution off, and catch up with Mega Metagross now. So he actually does not go into his Lando, and now my Mega Gallade's picture isn't seen, and that makes me really angry because Mega Gallade is beautiful. Anyway, I bopped the Bronx Zone. Lando T comes in. Now Lando T comes in. I'm just like, okay, that's fine because you don't really outspeed me, so I'm just gonna jump out of here and go right back in and scrub it up. So he actually goes for the Earthquake right here, and I'm just like, ooh. That actually might have helped me in this game now, because now Rotom's pretty much free to do whatever it wants. So he goes for the U-turn and deals a good amount of damage. And I'm just like, any point someone comes in here, at any point, at any rate, I can go for the Pain Split, which is exactly what I decided to do. So I get the Pain Split off, and I actually gain some leftovers recovery as well. And I'm like, this Rotom is a little cheeky, so I gotta try to kill it. Or make it faint, rather. So I Volt Switch out of it, and we're just like, we're gonna have to try to get him. So I go into Platinum Drive, and I'm like, that was kind of a mistake, because the Gorilla was Platinum Drive now. And he does. And I actually misclicked there. That was actually supposed to be Sylveon that came in, but I was like, I have to try to make him feel comfortable with this. So he goes for the Protect, and I stay in and go for the Stealth Rocks, I believe here. Yes, in fact, I do go for Stealth Rock. And Rotom is still gaining its HP because I predicted the Protect. At this point, I'm just like, I'm gonna switch out. When it's Sylveon, goes for the Volt Switch. When he went for the what I actually should have done is I'm thinking is maybe I should have went into Gallade, my Mega Gallade, but I'm like, nah, it's better I went to Sylveon, because remember the Mega Gallade, you can easily have Volt Switch and then went into his Lando, and we would have been right back to square one. So anyway, I go for the Protect there. He does in fact go for the Meteor Mash, like last time. So I'm like, maybe he won't predict it, like last time with Zapdos, for me to stay in. I'm like, there's no point in staying in, is there? Let me just go into my Rotom, not my Metagross, my Rotom. So anyway, he does in fact go for the Meteor Mash again, instead of going for the Zen Headbutt. So I'm like, at this range, he could kill me with a Zen Headbutt. He goes for the Zen Headbutt, and he hits it again. I'm like, I can't really rely on hacks anyway, I don't. But I'm like, it would have been nice if he did miss. Anyway, I get a clean switch into my Mega Gallade here. And I was like, I could make the prediction of him going to Lando. So I can't go for a close combat because he has Intimidate. But I'm like, I could make that prediction. So I'm like, I have to make that prediction. So I go for the Ice Punch. And I get a crit. I get a crit Ice Punch on the Lando. And I'm just like, oh my god, that prediction paid off so much. Because I know if I went for the close combat, I would have probably got a crit close combat and not have killed it. Anyway, I switched out, and I'm just like, that was the best play. That bag helped me bag the win. Because he was going to rely on that a lot. He was going to rely on that to get the Intimidate off. So anyway, I switched into Platinum Drive against Latias, and he goes for the Healing Wish. And I'm just like, oh my lord. Oh my Lanta. Oh my goodness. Oh my gracious. Oh Arceus, what have you done? So anyway, Mega Metagross comes back in. The Mega Metagross that we can't see. He goes for the Earthquake, and I'm like, I opted to stay in. I'm just like, I'm going to try to get some damage off. So I go for a Power Punch. Oh no, I just decided to go for a Power Punch right here. Because that Earthquake did not kill, and I had no good switch in. So I'm like, I'm going to stack Platinum Drive off here, and I go for a Bullet Punch to deal a little bit more damage. And he goes for the Earthquake. So I really pretty much know his moveset here. It's pretty much Meteor Mash, Earthquake, and Zen Headbutt so far. So the last move has to be a priority move, or maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. So I switch to the Miami Bomb and go for the fake out. Does a good amount of damage. Anyway, he's flinched. And right here is where I have to make my play and go for the knockoff because it does do super effective damage. Goes to the Meteor Mash, and I'm just like, Ambi Bomb. No. So at this point, I'm just like, I can pretty much sweep his team because his Rotom isn't in the right HP zone. It doesn't have enough HP to live a close combat. Anyway, Mega Metagross goes down by the close combat. And I do believe Mega Gallade outspeeds, but I could be wrong. I think Mega Metagross is 1 point under it. But I go for the close combat and outspeed and knock his Mega Metagross out. And then Rotom comes in, and I'm just like, I'm going to Psycho Cut you just in case you want to switch into your Keldeo. So Keldeo does come in, and I'm just like, well, I can't do anything about this if he does kill me. So I'm just like, I'm not going to lose my Mega Gallade to this. So I switch out just in case he Scarf and go with Sylvie. Because some people rock 2 Scarfers. And anyway, after that, I notice his HP goes up after the Secret Sword. And I'm like, oh, he has leftovers. So I stay in with Sylveon, obviously, because Sylvie is going to put in the work. He scalds Sylvie, and it's like, well, I can shout louder than your scald. I can yell too. So I shout the friggin' Hyper Voice off with Pixelate, and I almost nearly bopped the Keldeo out. Sylveon's insane. This Sylveon has no real investment in special attack, and it does that much damage. I do know it's super effective and Keldeo's frail, so we go for 2 Hyper Voices, and down goes the Keldeo. And he went for 2 Scalds and no burn on Sylvie. So, pretty much did really good with this team. As usual, we're doing pretty well. As long as we make those good predictions, we do really well with this team, basically. But with that, you guys, this is going to be the end of the video. Comment. I can't say rate, because there's no rating here. But you guys already know what I'm saying. Mach punch the heck out of like mine. Like it and friendly, break it, destroy, do whatever you want with it. Just don't hit the dislike button because it'll make me really, really sad. And it's a new year. You don't want to make anybody you know sad, especially me. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm ranting. I need to eat something. I'm kind of hungry. Anyway, leave some comments in the section below. Tell me what you liked about this video. If you guys have any Pokemon in mind that you want to see me use, tell me. Leave some comment section below. I want the feedback, you guys. You never leave comments. But anyway, you guys do your best. As long as I see some likes on the video, I mean, it helps. 5 likes is gonna help. 5 likes is gonna help. 5 likes is gonna help. 5 likes is good enough, basically, is what I'm saying. I don't need 10, but 10 would be great. I wish that support that was shown on my Showdown series, my Sunday Showdown series on Team Sigma, was just as supported on this channel. You know, it would help a lot if you guys did that. But thank you for all the support so far, and my capture card is on its way as well. So I hope you guys stay tuned for that, because I'm going to be starting my Wi-Fi battles soon. I can't wait for that, and I'm going to also be starting a new LP on the channel as well when I get my capture card, which should be next week. And if not next week, then the next week afterwards, because my I'm not really going through any money problems per se, but this is a Christmas gift that I'm getting from my father, and he really wants to help me get it. So he wants to pay. I told him he could pay half of it, so I'm paying half of it. But let's not really get into it. We're gonna be half, basically. I work, so I also get money as well. I also get my own money, so I can pay for certain things. So yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Oh, if you guys haven't checked out Bomber yet, Bomber actually has started his ORAS Wi-Fi battles now, and I believe he has a capture card. So yes, he has started his ORAS Wi-Fi battles. So I hope you guys check into his channel. I'm gonna leave this link in the description below for his channel. I hope you guys check him out. He's also on Team Sigma. I'll also leave a link in the Team Sigma's channel as well. I am on it as well, if you guys don't know that. And subscribe if you guys enjoyed, and if you want any more Pokemon content, and if you know any friends that like Pokemon content, tell them to check it out here and Team Sigma, because we are trying our best to provide the best quality Pokemon content videos that we can afford to at the moment. So with that, I'm out. Bye.